Hello, my name is Irene, and today we'll be interviewing Guido about his experience with VanHack. Guido, do
Oh,
you want to tell us
sorry.
about yourself?
It's Geddes.
Oh, Geddes. Sorry,
Yeah.
Geddes.
No, no worries.
So you want to tell us about yourself?
Sorry. Yeah. My name is Manolo Guedes. Uh, I am from Brazil. I've been a software engineer for like 10 years, I guess, in my life. I am married to a beautiful wife. My wife's called Leticia, and I am a father of three kids, Tel, Francisco, and the third one that is going to be born in July. It's gonna be called Noah. So
Okay.
that's
Oh,
me.
that's nice to hear. So what made you want to use VanHack for job searching?
First time I heard about VanHack was through a video from a guy from Brazil. I don't remember exactly his name, but I remember that he was interviewing Elia actually. So after that, I was just starting looking for VanHack with, this curiosity, aspect and trying to find if it would be possible for me to, at some point, somehow, get a new job in Canada. And then that was the time that I started looking at that. It was like, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago, possibly 4 years. I really don't remember the time, but it was really long ago. And yeah, that was how I got to know Von Hack.
Okay. How was the interview process with VanHack and with your job?
Yeah, actually, so I came to Van Hack with the Canadian the Canadian program that Van Hack has to move people that is already working with a US company to Canada. So it was not actually an interview, being honest. So I was already working with this company, this US-based company. And then Ilya started this project, this new project with Van Hack, trying to find a Canadian company to, then hire you and put you to work to your former company, to your former job, and bring us to Canada. So I just saw this message from Ilya. Actually, it was a post from Ilya on LinkedIn. And I messaged him because I was very curious about what should I expect about it and how should that work and so. And we started then talking about it, exchanging some experience and what to expect about this program. And then he had a meetup to talk about it with many other engineers and so. And yeah, that was how the process started. I then talked it to the company that I work with, uh, you know, presented this Van Hack program to them and checked if they would be interested on helping me to achieve this goal in my career and in my life. That was coming to Canada and bring my family to here. And yeah, that was the way that it happened. It was not a formal interview, it was more like a conversation to get to know about the program and so.
So how did it feel when you first got the job offer?
Sorry, can you come again?
Oh, how did it feel when you first got the job offer?
Wow, for me it feels like, you know, a dream coming true. Because as I said, uh, I was already working with this company and they allowed me to proceed and to start doing the process to, you know, start using VanHack and come uh, to Canada. But for that to happen, we first needed to move on and proceed with all the process with involving all the bureaucracy for the finding the sponsoring, finding the who would accept us here and moving on with the visa and everything else. So from that point to finding to getting everything set, it took us more than a minute, and for me was like a very it was a very anxious moment. And when everything was set, I was just so happy and seeing that things was happening, and I was then possible to realize and to live this dream, right? Live this dream here in Canada. So that was really nice.
Okay, okay, another question. How is VanHack compared to other job websites?
Well, I feel like VanHack is more filtered uh for the engineers purpose. So you don't get to have many jobs that is not related to your interests. You can filter it very well. And when you are at VanHack, you know exactly that what you should expect from the company that it's potentially hiring you. If you go to LinkedIn, for example, or to another website, there's always that possibility that they are interested on hiring someone that is based on the headquarters base already. So in Canada or the US or Europe. On the other hand, when you come to VanHack, you know already that they are interested in people that, or at least they are open for people they're not on the country yet and would need a sponsor for that, or at least you know that those jobs are remote at least. So they would accept you even though you are not in the country. So it makes our life easier because of that. You have way less filtering when it comes to that. And I think it sets the expectation to exactly where it should be. Like you are not applying to a job that you don't have any chance at all. You are applying to something that you have a chance because they know that you are possible not in the country and they are okay with that. So
Okay. Were there any struggles during your time with VanHack?
nothing that I can think of, actually. So I always had a really good relation with Aaliyah. So I was either sending him emails and he was always replying to me, or slacking him and he was always replying to me. So it was very smooth, I would say. Not only Leah, but all the team for every need that I had, they were always helping me especially after getting approved and starting moving on with the visa application and then coming to Canada, right? So there was some really good people helping me out with that. So I'm really I'm really thankful for that.
Okay. What made you want to work abroad?
Sorry, can you come again?
What made you want to work abroad, or what made you want to work overseas?
Yeah. So in 2019, right before the pandemic, I got to get this opportunity to come to Canada. It was then close to Toronto. Right now, I'm placed in Edmonton, Alberta. But I came in 2019 to close to Toronto. I was living in a city called Ajax, and I was doing part of my master degree in Oshawa. So I lived here in Canada for 6 months, and I think I just fell in love with the country. People, just welcomed me so well, and I was always surrounded by mainly by people that came to work here as well was not citizen. They were foreign, and they were always saying that Canadian folks were always receiving outsiders very well, and I was getting to see it. I was getting to face it, and it you know opened my mind for the possibility of coming and live in Canada, especially. And when this opportunity was over, so right at the beginning of the pandemic, after my time here, I needed to come back to Brazil. And I came to Brazil with, you know, kind of this purpose in my mind that I would come, I would marry my wife, and we would come back to Canada as soon as we could, and we would start our lives here and give this golden chance to our kids to grow up and to be raised in a country that gives you opportunity and freedom. So,
Okay. Okay, last question. Is there any tips or advice you would give to people using VanHack?
well, just don't give up. You know, times are harder than they were like a year or two ago, right now. But there's still your position, over there. There's always a position for you. So don't rush. Take your time. If you don't feel comfortable with your English, uh, try to improve it. If you don't feel comfortable with the tech stack that you are working with, consider changing or considering getting better on the tech stack that you're working with. And this tip, I will give to, my younger Manolo that, don't consider your English not enough before trying, before really proving it. You know, I learned English on the hardest way. It was when I came to Canada. I came with almost no English, and I got to learn it here. But when I came back to Brazil, I was still not confident that my English was good enough, and I was not even applying to, you know, jobs in Canada or US or any other English-speaking country. Uh, but then I just realized that I should try, even though I didn't have the confidence yet. And I tried and I passed it and I could do it. So very often the employers, they are less interested on your language skills than they are in your tech and soft skills. So if you are, just a little bit capable of communication, of understanding and get yourself understood, that's enough. You can learn a language. You can learn English, during the road. So just don't give up, try your hard, and try to get better.
Okay. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule for the interview, Manolo. I
Sure.
really appreciate it. And that'll conclude our interview, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
Right. Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Bye.